Hello everyone. So because we are going to be wearing masks for probably this whole year as well, I thought I'll show you my tips on how to reduce maskne. Maskne is basically the kind of inflammation or acne that you might get in this cheek area because you're wearing the mask all the time. And when you wear the mask, what happens is you're breathing in the same area and you're generating a lot of water vapor, moisture there. Moisture gets into the skin and causes all sorts of reactions. That can be dryness, that can be irritation in the form of acne, it can be just seen in many other forms. So I'll do two things. One, I'll show you how to prevent maskne, and one of the main tips to do that is to avoid wearing a lot of makeup, because you don't want to clog up your skin with makeup and then expect your skin to do okay. So the first thing to do is reduce the amount of makeup you're wearing. But if you do want to wear makeup, I'll also show you how to do makeup so it doesn't transfer onto the mask and also protect your skin. I always start with skincare. So what I would recommend for preventing maskne is, first of all, a good cleansing. So I would recommend a two-step cleansing process if you're using any form of sunscreen, because sunscreen generally has those oily ingredients that you want to get out of your skin when you sleep. So first I use this Body Shop cleansing butter, and I just take this butter and apply it onto my skin, and I'll use a wet washcloth to wipe it all off. That would generally get rid of all the makeup, including waterproof liner or waterproof mascara, whatever you're wearing. It just gets rid of all of those things. Next, I'll use this Body Shop cleanser, which is a gel cleanser sort of thing. It's a face wash, and I'll just use that on my face, and I'll use my Foreo to go over the skin while this face wash is on there. And again, this provides a very deep cleaning, and it's also good for your skin to prep and remove all of the makeup that you may have been wearing throughout the day. Continuing with skincare, after cleansing, if it's the daytime and I'm preparing for a long day, I will use a vitamin C serum, and I'll just place 2 drops on either side of my cheek. And I have seen that, in my case at least, it sort of prevents acne and is a very good way to fortify your skin against environmental stressors. It is also key to apply a very good moisturizer. So you want your skin to be heavily and quite adequately moisturized before you put on the mask, and that's what will give you the barrier you need against all that humidity, all that vapor you're sitting in all day. So I would recommend the use of a good thick moisturizer, or thin, depending on your skin condition. If you're oily, you kind of want to be using a gel moisturizer rather than a cream one, and if you are dry, I'd recommend a creamy, thicker moisturizer. And make sure your skin is well hydrated before doing anything else. If you want to wear makeup, then this is a good base. If you don't want to wear makeup, then this is a good fortifying barrier for your skin. If you have decided you're going to wear makeup, you want to go out, or you want to just be confident in your look, then I'd recommend the use of a primer when you're wearing a mask. What the primer does is it'll allow your makeup to just sit on top of your skin rather than directly into your skin, causing less irritation. So I'd just apply this primer everywhere and use either a brush or my fingers to just dab it in, and this will basically act as a coat of, well, paint primer, and let your foundation sit on the primer rather than directly on top of your skin. To do a quick eye look before showing you how I do the rest of the face. Okay, now that I've done my eyes, I'm going to move on to concealer. I'm using concealer before foundation because, again, the point is to use less makeup. So once you use concealer, you would have been addressing all the spots on your face that you want to cover up anyway, so you will end up using lesser foundation. So I'm just applying concealer to all the areas where I want to have a little bit of coverage. And again, notice how little I'm using, even to cover up those dark spots. You can use a flat, fluffy, or just your fingers to dip in the concealer. Today I'm using this flat brush. Having clean brushes is the other most important thing. When you're using your fingers, you want to be washing your hands before to make sure you're not transferring any germs or bacteria from your hands onto your face, because that again will cause acne. Or if you're using a brush, you have to make sure your brush is clean and also dry. You should not use a wet brush at any point of time. One trick I like to use is, once I've dabbed in the concealer using my brush, I take a damp beauty blender sponge, and I'll use a setting spray just lightly on this and use that to further blend the concealer in. And this step also allows the concealer to be set into the areas where you want it to be and not move with the mask. So I'm just dabbing this concealer in using the damp beauty blender sponge and a little bit of a setting spray. As you can see, my face is almost already done. I don't need a lot more foundation, but in case you do want to be using foundation for, like I said, a special event, or you just want that full coverage, I will show you how I would do it so that it won't transfer onto the mask or your clothes or wherever else. We've already used a primer, so that's step one. And the second thing is to again use a very little amount of foundation. So I'm only taking this much for my entire face, just one pump of my foundation. And I'll just again place this particularly in the areas where the mask is going to be, because that's where you need extra product so that it won't move throughout the day. And again, always bring your foundation down your neck to make sure the shape, your face and your neck looks the same. To keep this from transferring, we'll use the same trick. So I'm taking my foundation brush and spraying some setting spray onto it, and using that setting sprayed foundation brush to blend this product onto my face. So it's blending as well as setting at the same time. I generally do one side at a time, and I'll first do the cheek and then the forehead and blend down my neck, then move on to the other side. I'm just going to put on the tiniest amount of blush just to give some color back into the cheeks. Since I've come all this way, I might as well, I'm just going to do a highlight. I'm just placing this highlighter on the cheekbone, and once again I will use the same brush I used for my foundation because it will already have that foundation product on it, and that will ensure I get a good blend into it. I'm going to again use that damp beauty blender with one more spray of setting spray to set all this in and make sure it doesn't move. This will do both the things. It will help for the product not to transfer onto your mask while you're wearing it, and also because this makeup is sitting firmly on your skin now, it's not going to react with the water vapor being produced from your mouth, and therefore it will not produce that inflammation or irritation. Once I've done that, I'm going to take translucent powder and dust it all over my face, and particularly in these areas where I'll be wearing the mask. Now this is critical. Even if you're not wearing any makeup, you can do this. Remember when we applied the moisturizer, so you can just straight go into the translucent powder step right after the moisturizer, and it would be really helpful, as the product will again form that barrier between your water vapor being produced and your skin, thereby leading to less irritation. So I'd use quite a bit of this powder. Because it's translucent, it's not heavy and won't be caking up on your skin. If you're using powder foundation, if you don't have something like a translucent powder and you have a compact powder instead, you can use that as well, a compact powder foundation. But I'd recommend maybe only 1 or 2 swipes, because the more you apply, the heavier you build coverage for that powder foundation, and over the day it'll begin to look cakey. Now because I've done a bold eye look, I just want to keep my lipstick quite neutral. So I'm just using this Mao one, and of course you have to use a liquid matte lipstick so that it won't transfer. If you wear a cream lipstick, it will definitely transfer onto your mask, no matter how much setting spray you put on it. That's just the quality that's just the nature of the product. So I'm using this liquid matte lipstick, and this one dries down really well, and it's actually not drying at all, which I really loved. And being a Maybelline product, I think this performs better than many other high-end ones, including MAC the one that I normally use. So I'm just using this one. Again, if you don't want your product to transfer onto your mask, setting spray is a must. So I'm just going to close my eyes and spray this in a crisscross pattern across my face, and then do one more layer on the cheeks where the mask is going to be. I'll wait for this to dry, and in the meantime I just wanted to remind you that if you are going out for a special occasion and wearing all this makeup and wearing all this setting spray and the mask, you must ensure to take it all off when you come home. Double cleanse using a cream cleanser or an oil cleanser, and then also a face wash, or you can even wash your face just 2 times. The oil cleanser or cream cleanser is to make sure that the oil in your makeup products, your foundation, your setting spray, your sunscreen, your moisturizer, all that's gone, and then the gel will just wipe off all those remnants. So you must ensure you take off your makeup if you were using all this makeup and the setting spray, to make sure you don't end up with Maskne. And now comes the moment of truth. I'm getting my mask on, putting it on, and voila, very little to zero transfer. Yay! I was not sure this was going to work on camera, but I'm pleased. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful and interesting, and make sure you double cleanse your face at night. Thanks for watching again. Bye bye.